Welcome to Season 6, The Starry Achievers. This podcast, as we all know, is dedicated for the welfare of people. This season is specially dedicated to all the achievers and talented people with their new ventures under the umbrella startup. Today we have a very special guest from Mumbai, India. Welcome to the show, sir.
Hello, myself, Professor Prashant Singhal, and I'm glad that I'll be sharing my thoughts with you. And so I'll just introduce myself. I'll just give a very short introduction. So I have been into the field of teaching, or you can say into the education ecosystem from around 10 years down the line. And firstly, I did my engineering, and then I basically stepped into the education ecosystem where I saw a lot of things happening, a lot of loopholes, and a lot of stuff which was going on. And that actually created me to start with a startup. And so here it goes. Like, I am basically an engineer turned entrepreneur, and I also find my interest into career counseling. So therefore, I can say that my startup is into career guidance spectrum.
That's really the need of the hour, also. So, if you could just talk about what is your startup all about? Specifically, what's the name of the startup and a little more about it?
Yeah. So my startup's name is Cosmic Neurons. This is basically the brand name. Cosmic means divine and neurons means brain cells. So it is basically divine brain cells. And we are basically into what you can say, we are into career guidance through technology. Okay.
Okay.
And the main driving force which brought me into this industry, or you can say which basically influenced me to get such a startup in the career domain, that is basically when I was studying, when I was doing my engineering. At that time, the loopholes which I saw basically were like, as we can say that there is no practical implementation. We are learning something which is very virtual, and then when we are like recruited, and there we see that every person has to struggle
Mm-hmm.
because we studied something virtual and then we have to apply that into real situations. Apart from that, I have even seen that there is a huge imbalance between what is being taught and what is being applied. And again, the biggest loophole which I can mention is every career guidance and counseling in our country especially is basically in the vicinity of the interest of the person or the client.
Right.
And this interest generally, what I have seen, fluctuates after 2 years, 3 years. Suppose the counseling was done in 10th standard and a person or a child chose something like option A,
Mm-hmm.
and in after 2 years we see that the child's interest may fluctuate due to many reasons, due to some influence, or due to financial constraints, due to difficulty level, due to scope of the subject, or maybe due to upgradation in the education ecosystem. There can be many reasons which can create a change in the career option, the fluctuation of the interest. So according to me,
Right.
I thought I thought there should be something which should be a flagship product of our startup, which actually solves a very big problem of our country in the career domain, and which is a purpose driven startup too. So what here we do is like, we are working on the ICG formula, which is innovative career guidance, where we first take out the inborn talent with the help of a technology or a science known as dermatoglyphics. which is basically fingerprints of the individual. And then on the basis of psychometric test, we have a we have something around 5 to 6 psychometric tests with our startup within our company. So with the help of the psychometric test, we come to know about the acquired skill of the child or of the individual. And then finally, we collaborate the output of these two with the interest, the current interest of the client or the individual. So here it comes with a very, what you can say, the solution is very optimum career option for the child, and it is the most suitable option for the child. So this is something which is a very flagship product of our company, and which can be a very, very revolutionary idea or a revolutionary solution to one of the biggest problems of our country in the career domain.
Okay, so it's like through this flagship product, one can solve the fluctuation part, the changes that happens, and it's like one can then be more sure about their choice in careers.
Correct.
And did you imagine when you were young that you will be doing something like, amazing, even playing with the name Cosmic Neuron?
No,
Because
not.
it's like very interesting name, I must say.
Mm-hmm. When I was young, when I was in my school, at that time, like I was a very, and now also I am a very curious person. So at that time, like what I basically noticed that I was more into the stuff like space science or into archaeology or into something which is very revealing, very, what you can say, very curiositic, very mysterious. So I was basically called a young scientist when I was like in my school days. So basically, I never gave a thought like I'll be doing something like this. But yes, I was very sure that I'll be doing something into the research section. I always believed in becoming a scientist to have something very curious, to know something about, very curious to solve some mysteries. That was my basically intention in my school section. Never thought of like I'll be an entrepreneur, I'll be giving something to the society. Nothing as such in that school days. So this is something which eventually came to me, and the loopholes which I saw forced me like to do something to contribute to the society, and that's the reason I'm here.
So your curious nature, and of course that you believe that you will be doing some research work, doing that and using that concept further in life. The research work did take a shape, and hence we have this product of yours and this startup.
You can say that, like, uh, we don't actually see what will be the destiny, but like we are still walking on the path, and we are. It is always said that the journey is even more beautiful than the destination or the destiny. So like
That's
we are
beautiful.
enjoying each and every moment. We are learning. Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Even there are like many situations, many ups and downs, but always we learn. And that is the most, what you can say, the good experience which we get. So
Absolutely.
mm,
So during this journey, when we are talking about the ups and downs, did you have any low moments? And if yes, how did you cope?
startup journey, I have seen a lot of ups and downs,
Hmm.
because like every coin has two sides. So there are ups and downs both. But I generally believe in that whenever there is a up, whenever there is something which is good going on, then I like try to become very calm, to digest the success. And whenever there is some loss, or the journey or the time is not in favor of me, I always try to learn. I always try to captivate the moment, and try to bring something new, try to learn from my mistakes. And there has been not single moment, there has been many moments, many days, in fact, many months, like 3 to 4 months. Even when I am thinking, like I am actually talking to you, but I am thinking about those days, those months, those time periods where I was very, very low. Because when I started my journey, okay, uh, into Cosmic Neurons, it was basically a proprietor firm in Mumbai. And then eventually we made it to a startup. A startup is something which is actually a registered entity,
Mm-hmm.
and registered entity with the Startup India having the DIPP certificate. So that is something which is officially a company is called to be a startup. So even that journey wasn't easy. Okay, to get
Okay.
the DIPP certificate. That is the first thing which a startup does. And after that, the main thing was to get incubation support, because we are basically into the counselor community or into the teaching fraternity, and to become an entrepreneur, to run a startup is not easy for us, because we
Absolutely.
are not from that management sector. And in that scenario, from being a startup to get incubated, that was again a crucial part and even one of the most difficult part. But God was like showering all the blessings, and in 2020, it was something July, where we actually stood one of the winners in Udyami Utsav. Okay, and from there we got a call from AIC-BIMTECH, which is Atal Incubation Centre BIMTECH at Greater Noida, and it's a part of NITI AAYOG. So then we had the chance to be incubated over there, and from there, like we learned a lot of things. And then again, we thought like everything will be smooth in the future. But again, there are a lot of ups and downs going on, and we try to keep us motivated and enjoy even the failures and learn something new for the bright future.
Firstly, congratulations for winning. When the competition that you had just mentioned,
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
it's a big thing having all the experience and the journey of ups and downs. And what I can say is that when you say the coping skills for you were to learn from each experience, captivate the moment, and learn from the mistakes and enjoy in the process also.
Correct, ma'am.
That's beautiful, and thank you for sharing because, yes, every startup or every work has its ups and downs, but learning from you all the entrepreneurs, how they coped up will definitely give inspiration to the younger generation. So, what do you have to say
Hmm.
for younger generation who would like to do or has an intention of starting a startup?
Something which I want to share to the younger generations, those who want to like start this startup journey or they want to become entrepreneurs. So I'll just say that innovate something first. Like first work on innovation. And that innovation should be either purpose driven or should be mass appealing or should solve a very big problem in our country, nation or worldwide. So that is something, uh, the innovation could be the start, and then you should work on the business model. Okay, then you should work on the business model, and then you are ready to go. Of course, it will start with a very small, what you can say, small part, but
Mm-hmm.
eventually it will grow, and you will have to make it big. So there will be many ups and downs again, and but I have a 3P formula which I apply to myself and even to the students which I have taught or the team which I have. So that is something. The 3P formula is passion, patience, and perseverance. So there should be passion. Try to bring the passion of yours into profession, and
Right.
then have patience. You must have the utmost patience which a person can have, because life basically examines you a lot, and then finally You should work very hard day and night. You should always dream about what you want to achieve with the perseverance. So this is the 3P formula which I always, what I can say is the success mantra, which I always tell to my kids, tell to the students. So everybody in my vicinity or in my startup. So this is the formula which I'll be sharing with you. So everybody who will be listening to this podcast, so if you are applying this formula, definitely it will reap you benefits in the life.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing this success mantra because 3P is actually very productive. As you had just mentioned, that passion should be there and one should keep on dreaming. Be patient, and perseverance is just an add on key to it.
Correct, correct. Because I am a very firm believer of the term desire.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because whenever I ask any colleague of mine or any uh, like stakeholder or a person working in my startup or any kid or any student, like what is your desire? So I get answers like I want to become something, I want to be a businessman, I want to be an entrepreneur. So my definition of desire is something which puts your soul into action for its salvation. So this is my definition. Do something, do the work which you love, which gives you satisfaction. So that is something which is my definition. So I
Very.
hope every student, every person who is watching this, every founder or an entrepreneur must have actually what you can say, mm, uh, must have got the feeling which I want to say, like what is desire, correct?
Absolutely. It is very, very strong and it's also very, let's say, cosmic in nature.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So, moving ahead, if you could just share any anecdote or any memorable experience you had, which you
Hmm.
remember and would like to share with our listeners.
The most, what you can say, the memorable experience which I had was like basically, uh, I actually did a counseling. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, I actually did a counseling of a student of 10th standard in my startup journey, of course, because we are in career domain. So I did a career counseling of a 10th standard student who came to me like 3 to 4 years down the line, and he told me that my parents are asking me to move ahead with commerce. And I too find that I am not good with mathematics, I am not good with physics, but but I still love science in a very experimental way. I am interested in making robots, I am interested in making drones. So I have a very practical sort of nature apart from being a theoretical person. So I suggested him ki okay, no issues. We manage studies like the PCM, physics, chemistry, maths, we'll be managing, but you will have to majorly focus on your strength. And your strength is what? Your strength is making something innovative, making something technical. So I actually suggested him, and so after my counseling, he was like quite impressed. He was very happy, and I even convinced his parents. So he took science. In 12th standard, of course, he got less marks. He passed, but after 12th, he finally got into CPL, which is a commercial pilot license course. Currently, he is in US, and some days back, like 2 months back, he actually sent me a video on WhatsApp that, sir, see, I am flying an aircraft and there is NASA in front of me, but I cannot enter the range because of their security system. So this is something with what I have achieved. Like, at least I'm not in NASA, but I'm standing in front of NASA, like 10,000 something feet above. So that is everything which is given by you. So that was a very, very, what you can say, a memorable moment for me. And I enjoy these type of, what you can say, the feedback from my students, from my clients. So this is what gives me, what fulfills actually my desire. So this is the reason I am working on this sort of startup into career domain.
That's beautiful, and it is really heartwarming to see, people who you have guided, they reach the sky, and sky is the limit. Is like,
Hmm. I just become a medium. Everything is in the hand of God, and I become a medium. I am like very thankful to God. He gave me such an opportunity on this planet Earth to become the, what you can say, to become the medium of instruction, um,
so
by
in
the
a
God.
way, I'm sure, and it is like, since you are so purpose driven and you have a dream to solve the bigger problem, to bridge the gap between the learning and the application part.
Correct, correct.
This is this is not actually a very easy thing to do, especially when people are so hardwired. But you are doing an amazing work.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
And if you could share your social media links with our listeners, so that in case if they want to take your services or would like to know more about what this Cosmic Neuron startup is all about,
Hmm.
so they can connect with you. So if you
Yeah,
could share
definitely,
the
definitely. I'll just put upon, or you, if you can just put upon my social media links and even the website link, and I'll be glad to serve if any person or any of uh, a listener comes to us. So I'll
absolutely.
be glad to serve them. Yeah.
So if you could just share the website name with everyone, absolutely. I will
Yeah.
be sharing all the links
Yes.
in the
Yes.
post.
Yes.
So
Okay.
all those who are listening right now, please read the post and connect with Professor Prashant Singhal. He is doing a great work. And sir, if you could just share the website link.
Yeah. Our website link is www.cosmicneurons.com.
So here it is. Please note it down and just visit his website to know more about it. And before we end, anything else you would like to share with our listeners?
I can share. I'll just end up with one quote.
Okay.
I always, I always believe in this quote. Success is not prominent. Failure is not final. Do your hard work and have your determination until and unless your victory becomes a history. So this is the final quote which
Wow.
I can say, which is coming to my mind now, and I always try to work on this because our life gives us small moments of success. But I always try to believe that your success should be so much loud that it creates a history, and you'll always be remembered for contributing to the society. That is something which I'm a very firm believer.
Absolutely. And from today onwards, we'll start dreaming bigger. But after listening to you, we are so inspired and ready to put ourselves into the application part of the three P's that you have shared. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for such a knowledge and plethora of options to dive into and again recollect and move ahead in life.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Thank you for your time, sir, and it's a real pleasure listening to you and your journey. We wish you all the best for future endeavors, and in the end, all the kids will be benefiting and reaching ahead in life and making history.
Correct, correct, correct. And it was indeed a pleasure of mine. Like, I enjoyed a lot sharing my thoughts, and so I also, what you can say, I also admire the students or the youth, those who are coming into this journey of startup, because from 2020 to 2030, it has been said it's a digital era, it's a startup, what you can say, startup decade. So I welcome all the people, all the pupils, those who are willing to go with the startup. All the best.
Thank you so much, and on behalf of each and every listener, we wish you the same. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Take care and be safe. Bye.
Yeah. Bye bye.
This is Mr. Prashant Singhal from India, founder of Cosmic Neurons, a startup which is a flagship product to help bridge the gap between learning and application. The journey in this startup ecosystem has been a topsy turvy ride. The drive to contribute back to the society and to work with a purpose has kept Professor Prashant motivated. His curious nature, keenness to learn, and introspect on his mistakes refined his creativity. A firm believer of desire and how his three P's kept him on his toes is a lesson to follow. His vision to spread the true meaning of desire and encourage the clients, students to adopt the three P's, that is, passion, patience, and perseverance in their lives. With this, I hope you all will follow what Professor Prashant Singhal has advised. Do connect with him on his social media link and hope to see you next week with another guest and their startup journey. Till then, take care and be safe. Bye.